Well, my word, what an amazing, what an amazing event that was. You are joined, we're here, we're live. It is the Full Force News Burst Live special episode. Wow. I mean, let's kind of catch our breath a little bit. So yeah, let me start this again in a proper intro. It's the Full Force News Burst Live, brought to you by Generals Joe's Reborn.com with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. On today's very special live stream, I am joined by the one and only Patrick Notpicard Stewart. There he is. Hi, Pat.
Hey.
Doing his usual intro stuff as well. I like that. What are we talking about today then, buddy? Well, yes, we are delving deep into the awesome reveals from Hasbro's G.I. Joe 40th Livestream. My bloody word, Pat, that just kept going, didn't it? And going and going. And we were like, are we ever going to go live?
Yeah, I was afraid that I was not going to process my pre-orders either. It was taking a long time.
Well, that's another thing. We wanted to give you guys enough time to get any pre-orders in that you might want to, order. So, wow, that was...
There was something going online today for pre-order at 1 o'clock. I don't know. What was that?
A couple of things. Well, let's get stuck in because we've got a lot to talk about, and Pat might even have to jump off at the end because of he's going to be late for work otherwise. So first things first. They started off with some amazing reveals, but I'll tell you what. Let's do this in our own order. Let's start with the pre-order stuff. So let's talk through Tomax first. So we'll add him here. There he is. So what is interesting actually about this product image is it would appear as though they've put the wrong heads on the figures for the packaging shots. We seem to have Zamot's head on the Tomax body in the Tomax packaging and vice versa for the packaging shots for Zamot. So, you know what it is. Zamot's got a scar, Tomax doesn't. It's pretty obvious. So it's fine. But yeah, so anyway, this is basically the first one to discuss. So last night, what was it? I went live, did the News Burst Live last night because Big BBTS dropped a few little cheeky images of the kind of like pre-order figures that we're going to be going up today. One of those obviously was Tomax, the other was Zamot. What do you think about this particular figure now that we've seen it properly, Pat? I mean, are you excited for this one?
These two look excellent. I love the fact that they actually called out that the red is going to match each time we see it, and it's mentioned that it's crimson. I think that's a great thing to do to keep some consistency throughout the brand as far as the Crimson Guard and what crimson actually is, because that's something that hasn't always happened. I'm really curious about that scar though, because I thought in the cartoon the scars didn't match what was on the toy. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I think they've gone toy accurate, haven't they?
I think so. And everything that we've seen up until those packaging shots. But I think that you're right, that it's going to end up being what we've been told and shown so far. And that packaging shot is matching the cartoon, I guess, but opposite of what the figures will be as far as the scar goes.
I'd have to do a tiny bit more research on the details there. But yeah, I believe that is the case. I think he looks fantastic, Tomax and Zamot, obviously. I'm really excited for these. And yeah, just looking at, now we're into the kind of Dio shots. And as you can see now, they've got the correct head on the correct body. We now have Tomax. So you can see the hair flows a different way. There's a slightly different facial expression. And you don't have the scar now. So this is actually what Tomax looks like. And really, really into these. Now, weapons-wise, they're coming with these like little HK MP5s with the silencer, the daggers, and obviously the removable magazine. Not a massive amount of accessories for the single card release here, Pat. But you kind of get the feeling that a deluxe is probably around the corner with these two, don't you?
A deluxe for the pair of them?
Yeah, do you not think so? Like with more accessories?
Sure. I suppose they could do them in crimson as a 2-pack. That would kind of make sense. They could have their thing that they swing on. And Diana backs me up and says that the toy and comic were similar, but the cartoon was swapped. So
thank you, Diana.
Justified there. And I really like the daggers, the way they've gone with the wavy blade. I don't know why that seems in character for them, but it does.
Yeah, proper wavy blade type lads, aren't they? If I was to describe Tomax, they might be wavy blades. But yeah, absolutely, the Dio shots are outstanding as well. I absolutely love these. I always think they do amazing work with the Dio for photography, and that's Tomax. So let's quickly look then at Zamot while we're here. Just quick, obviously they're effectively the same figure, just flipped around with some slight differences, and obviously the scar. Artwork was pretty dope as well. I really liked what they did with the artwork, and there was something. I don't have a good picture of it at the moment, and I won't bother jumping into. I won't jump around and try and find it. I jump around, but what you noticed was some really cool effect they had on the artwork with like the chevrons, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, it was really cool the way that they have like it striped, so you're seeing two different outfits kind of for Tomax and Zamot, which I guess they could go that direction as well if they did a 2-pack.
Yeah.
How cool would that be if they I mean, because when you think about it, you want to get your
You want suits
youth out of tooling whenever you make it. But Tomax and Zamot technically are already 2 uses of most of this.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I could see them doing like you obviously reusing this tooling in a Crimson redeco.
Yeah,
which I mean, like I feel like that's going to happen. But then also, I just feel really strongly that there's going to be a deluxe of these two. I don't know why. No background information on that, guys.
Do you think that the art indicates that maybe we could see this art used for a business suits 2-pack?
Possibly, where they'd switch the chevrons around and then have the suit artwork in front. Yeah, that'd be really cool, and very, very possible. So really good stuff here. And again, look at the Dio shots for these figures are superb. Zamot here, you can see with the scar now, just looks absolutely incredible. Look at those, fantastic. Posted all these on the socials as well. So if you want to have a look through these guys, you can see all of the lovely product photography for most of these things. Right, next up then, let's look at Sergeant Stalker. Absolutely, again, like another cracking figure they're doing here. In package again here. I can't remember who did all the artwork now off the top of my head, so we'll have to follow that up later, unless you remember, Pat.
I don't remember now. Sorry.
I don't remember any, because this is the problem. When we're watching this, Pat's trying to listen to stuff. I'm talking over him. And then also I'm trying to like take pictures of things and post stuff and get stuff ready for this live stream. So it's all an absolute farce all over the place. But absolutely loving how the Stalker has come out. And he comes with quite a lot of stuff. So he's got like a submachine gun. He's got his... almost that classic machine gun that he came with a removable magazine, the kind of like wiry stock, which is kind of cool. Also, I think Tiger Force Duke came with. So, and we know Tiger Force Duke's coming, so maybe he's going to get the same rifle, fingers crossed. But loads of stuff here, mate, for him. Removable beret, pistols, magazines, all sorts of cool stuff. The scarf. What are you thinking about this guy?
I think that the idea and the approach that they did was a perfect idea, and it's well executed, where you have essentially a figure that looks like a representation of the 1982 Stalker, but Stalker didn't come with a backpack, so it makes sense to include a backpack that can add some value to an update. And the fact that his rifle fits in there, that's not really something that I would have thought of, and I think that it's pretty cool.
I wonder if it's the same. I wonder if it's the same one as the Cobra Officer, and they just retooled it and recolored it.
Maybe
not retooled it. Sorry, just recolored it.
Possibly. I don't think that I got a really good look at it, to be honest.
It's basically the sheath for for a rifle in it. Basically,
the rifle sheath, but I don't think I've seen it to actually see what it looks like. Did we get to look at it in any of the Dio shots or anything?
Not in the Dio shots, I don't think. We'll go through those now. But there was, when they were doing the spin round, they showed it off. And again, like guys, obviously we don't have to throw this up here. You can go and check that out whenever you want. But the Dio shots look great. I did like a double shot here where you can see it in full. And then on this one, it kind of focuses in the background and shows you some more of the characters that are going on in the background. And in there, you can see Cobra Commander. You can see another Viper kind of creeping around the corner. Tomax and Zamot obviously talking to the Commander. And then a really interesting character in the background there. Do you think that's another Viper, Pat? Or do you think we're looking at something else there? Is that like Firefly or...
No, I think that's just a like by the window right there in the center of the screen?
Yeah, because there's I'm
I think
thinking
that's
of the
just a
two,
Viper.
just a Viper. Okay, well, probably is, but I'm gonna speculate that it's some sort of other creature. But it looks really cool, and I love that one of him hanging off the building. How awesome is that?
It looks like he's going to drop an air conditioner on a Viper. Maybe that's what's happened.
Take that. It looks like it's worked as well, because in the other shot, the Viper's out for the count. Yeah, really. That's another thing. While we're talking about the dire shots, how cool was it when they were showing when Corey was on? So, right, first of all, let's shout out Emily, Lenny, Tony, Corey, and who else joined from the Transformers team? Was it Pat? Do you remember?
I can't remember his name.
Apologies, but big shout out to the Hasbro team involved. It was a really like entertaining panel. It was really I mean, it was long. We did not plan to be going on at 1:05, put it that way. But really, really loved the show, and it was packed full of stuff. And we got some reveals, which we'll get onto very shortly. But Stalker, yeah, pretty dope about Stalker. I'm really happy about this one. To everyone joining us, by the way, thank you so much. Loads of you joining us on Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to all the comments as well. I'll get to stuff when I can get to it. There's been a lot of comments. My goodness me. If anything, like from now on, I will be paying attention. Apologies, guys. What's that? Oh, hi, Sam. Sam says, so excited for Stalker. Number one most desired character, hoping for a winter special missions next year that gives us Arctic Ranger along with Iceberg, Snowjob, and some Snow Serpents. Well, that would be friggin' amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Pat, would you like to see Tundra Stalker at some point?
For sure. It actually did occur to me whenever there was all this snow in the area this year that it almost feels like a missed opportunity for the people who really like to take action figure photography. They need to get some Snow Joes out before next winter. That'd be nice. And Tundra Stalker, yeah, I would love that. I'd like a Snow Job, a Blizzard. There's a bunch of them that'd be great.
Iceberg would be good as well. Yeah, I'd love Blizzard. Blizzard would be wicked for all the gear that he'd come with. Same with Snow Job. If they went with more like the Pursuit of Cobra as opposed to his original in terms of accessories. Giuliano Pereira has asked, who are figures 40 and 43? Are the 3-pack Vipers exactly the same as 22 Cobra Island Viper? So the Vipers that aren't the Cobra that aren't the Viper officer are the same build, but they're different deco. So there's different deco elements on there. So there are differences to those other Vipers in that pack. In terms of who 40 and 43 are, don't know, because I don't know what the other. I can't remember off the top of my head what we've had recently, what's to come that we haven't seen yet. So I can't remember off the top of my head. Sorry about that. Some people in the comments might be able to let you know on that one. Sorry, Giuliano. But anyway, how did everyone get on with their pre-orders? Pat and I, I was all right. I was smooth, but Pat, you had a bit of trouble, didn't you, buddy?
It was just the circle forever, and then I had to refresh it and do it again. I'm wondering, I'm gonna have to go in after this and make sure I didn't order everything twice.
He spent like $8,000 by accident. Toy Bounty Hunter got all their pre-orders in. Hasbro Pulse and BBTS, well done. What we got here, random thought, based on all the box numbers we have, wondering who... Oh, yeah, okay, there's another one. So no one knows who 40 and 43 are at the moment, and I should do, but can't think off the top of my head. Ryan says, the Joe team has been the best thing to watch on these Hasbro live streams. Today, with all the reveals, it was crazy, and we didn't see any of the higher stuff yet. Mate, there's so much to come, isn't there? It's crazy. Right, I'll come back to the comments a bit later on, guys, but keep them coming in. I will obviously not be able to get to all of them. I apologize, but thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Let's move on then, Pat, to the Viper 3-pack. Now, this one, Anthony Petrie, gorgeous artwork on the front of this one. This is something that Emily and the team were talking about here was quite interesting, was the switch to all non-plastic packaging.
Yeah, so that's kind of was a surprise to me. I didn't think that was going to be something that would be affecting more figures. It sounds like, though, that's going to be the single packs as well, right? Eventually,
by the sounds of things, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that takes effect for the figures we haven't got in hand yet. Obviously not with Storm Shadow Spirit and the Cobra Officer, because I believe those have actually kind of found their way out in some places. and people have them in hand, and I don't think they were non-plastic, but it looks like they're going to be in these kind of box format. And for one thing, I guess at least we get a nice big full piece of art on show.
Yeah, that's true. That will be kind of nice, I suppose. A lot of this stuff I'm buying online anyway.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to really look at it through that window, it's almost not going to matter in a lot of ways. So I'm fine with it.
I obviously I understand the reasoning for it. It's a shame because like I do love that packaging, but I totally understand it. And if we can get like the upside is we get these beautiful, pieces of artwork that have been created for these figures in nice, to kind of nice to view rather than like in a small section and on the side of the box. At least it's going to be much bigger and there's way more scope there for some really nice artwork.
It just means that whenever variations are found, I'm going to be begging even more for the code numbers to be put online because you're not going to be able to see them from outside the package.
Absolutely. Another big kind of reveal for this set was the blast effects and these kind of modular blast effects. Lots of different pieces you get with this one, which is kind of cool. A lot of weapons. They get the kind of like backpacks as well, which is neat. Like what looks to be 3 pistols, and then variations of a similar rifle where you've got like a sniper rifle, a grenade launcher, a submachine gun version, and then you've got these 2 other rifles. So there's a lot going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is quite a lot. As a Transformers collector as well, I'm kind of familiar with the approach to these blast effects. So again, I do think that these are something that make the people who are doing figure photography really happy.
Yeah.
And probably on the shelf, them standing there like just as they are, they'll look really nice. So
one thing I will mention though as well, something that we've discussed in the past, actually look at that picture of the Viper with his shirt sleeve rolled up. That's different.
Yeah, it is.
How did I not notice that before? Is that the case? Has one of them got a shirt sleeve rolled up? I don't think that's the case. I think that must be like an interesting quirk.
Version of it.
Oh, it's a packaging shot, so it might have been like early shots for the packaging. That's interesting, isn't it? Because that isn't the case. If you look at the actual figures, maybe those are Cobra Island ones because of the red. I don't know. It's hard to say because they've got black. Oh no, I'm all over the place here. I don't know what I'm looking at. Anyway, we'll park that.
Yeah, that's something we're going to have to wonder. I'm going to guess that you're right, that pose was probably done earlier than the product shots that we were shown, and so it's probably not going to be like that.
Yeah, definitely. The Viper is missing the arm piece that comes off. Oh, okay. Is it just an arm piece that comes off? Okay, cool. In that case, that explains that then. I have not played with that Viper enough, have I?
Yeah, me neither. Apparently not.
Thanks for that. I think it's Ryan. Ryan. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, for that. Came off.
I didn't either. That again, it must be something I've never really paid attention to. Oh, right. So they've got. Thank you, Adam. Showing the fact that they have different skin tones under the cuff. Interesting. Okay. That's something I just never knew. Thank you. Yeah, Hooded Cobra Commander as well. Forearm pads are removable. Thank you. Sorry, guys. That was me being silly, and now it worked out.
Too. I really haven't played with that Viper enough, apparently.
We literally crowdfunded that answer. Thank you. Right. So yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful shots of the Vipers here. Really, really enjoying these Dio shots again. And coming back to the blast effects here, one thing I was going to say before I noticed that arm. There have been issues in the past with some of the Transformers ones, haven't the Pat, where sometimes in the package they can come out a bit bent, and then so those long pieces can bend a little bit and then kind of almost like stay that kind of shape.
Yeah, even in their presentation today, one of them had a little bit of a droop on the tip of the effect. You do have to kind of heat them.
I think it's like a droopy tip.
If they're standing on the shelf, you may need to spin them so that gravity starts to bend them back to the direction that you'd want to look at them. But if they made them out of a harder plastic that wouldn't droop, I think you'd end up with the pegs breaking off.
Yeah, definitely. Matthew's like, how did I not know that about the about the cuffs, mate. I
I'm just gonna-
don't get enough time to actually enjoy these figures. That is the problem. I'm doing this so much that I don't actually get to play with them in hand ever. It's crazy.
And I'm going to have to start taking all the parts off of them too after I get them out of the package.
I know. I'm just going to be ripping them. I'm just going to be
tearing
tearing them to pieces now whenever I get them. You totally. Okay, cool. Well, that's the Viper 3-pack. Very, very awesome. Let's move on to some of the reveals. I want to leave something to the end, Pat, and I think you know what it is because it was just so freaking awesome, and it's something we've both been waiting for many years. So let's skip to the actual digital render reveals that they kind of showed off. Zarana, I didn't know it was you. My favorite thing to say whenever I talk about Zarana. Pat, what are you thinking here, mate? Lover?
Yeah, this is another good one. It's neat that they've kind of changed her torn shirt into a tiny jacket. That's a cool look. And
sorry, I just wanted to highlight Christoph's comment there. Play with your toys, forget about us, Chris. Sorry, carry on. Zarana.
Yeah, maybe I need to just go play with my Viper and stuff right now.
Yeah, well, let's do it now. Let's not bother doing. Let's leave the live stream on while we play with that Viper.
I'm curious to see her accessories for sure, because
Yeah.
her holster or sheath that she has over there is open-ended. I can see that. It looks like they made her left shoulder spiky.
Oh yeah,
for her shoulder pads.
good. Yeah, good eye.
A little bit of something different, and they've kept that. It looks like she's wearing pink spandex underneath.
Yeah.
Or stretch pants or whatever they may be underneath her jeans that are also torn. So
maybe that's her leg skin tone. Maybe she has some sort of weird skin thing going on, and it turns bright purple.
Well, I think in the original figure that was meant to be another area that would change color in the sun, and then they just instead of using the photo gray plastic, they just used regular plastic and colored it pink. I think that's what's going on.
Pat, would you like to see Zarana as a deluxe with the skin change?
We don't need Zarana and Xandar with color changing skin, I don't think. But if they did that, I think that'd be, I would like it.
I know what you're saying, though. It's like another expensive figure to kind of get involved with. But I suppose depending on how they did her, if they did like loads of like cool, maybe like Mistress of Disguise. But that would be really wicked. I'd love that. I think it would be really, really cool. Yeah, really, really enjoying that figure. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know why I'm hanging. Yeah, next up then, Dusty. What do you think of Dusty?
I like that he has the nameplate on there that is Ron Rudat's last name backwards.
Yeah.
So that's nice. It's nice that call out actually ended up on the figure. I like it.
Yeah, it looks really good. Looks like it kind of hard, like it doesn't. I don't think it's soft goods, is it? I don't think they said anything about. Did they say anything about the hat? But I don't think it is soft goods. I believe it's like a hard kind of helmet, basically.
Yeah, they were talking about that. I think they said it's a Havelock. Is that correct?
Oh, nice.
But yeah, he looks good. I also love the beret Dusty as well. And do you think that we'll get this one? Is he a shoe-in then for Tiger Force soon?
Oh, you've got to think anything they do is going to have a Tiger Force equal and opposite Tiger Force reaction, right? That's the that's what Tiger Force is. Yeah, totally, 100%. If they don't, then I don't know what they're doing. Lenny, what are you doing? Again, I've got to shout out the banter the guys had today. They were fantastic, all of them. Really enjoyed the show. So yeah, Dusty, absolute cracker. Really enjoying this one. Havelock is correct, says Sam. Thank you, Sam. Yes, Christoph, the helmet does look real neat. I think it's really cool. I'm not sure how I would have felt. I would have liked some sort of soft good, but depending on how it's done, and it looks good there, I don't think it makes any difference.
I like the soft goods when it's a cape and it allows the figure to sit in a position, but I think that having this not as soft goods isn't going to prevent him from doing a lot. I think that it's still going to work.
Yeah. Diana's still waiting to see Tiger Force Duke. Well, we know he's coming, so yeah, and that was also a no-brainer, wasn't it? So Yeah, I also expect to see another roadblock down the line at some point. I mean, come on. We've got the heavy artillery roadblock. We've got to have a Tiger Force one, and because we don't really have enough roadblock figures.
I think they could put him at the end of all of the Tiger Force figures just to space out a roadblock on the shelf a little bit.
Diana said, okay, one thing, check out his goggles, how they're going to fit over his eyes.
Good point.
Yeah, it is a good point. It's a very good point. I don't know if are they going to be removable. I imagine so. The Vipers one were removable goggles. We'll have to wait and see on that one, won't we? When we get more information.
It's always kind of surprising to me that they figured out how to get the Viper goggles to actually stretch around and stay on the head, as well as to go on the helmet. So
yeah, that was on some Cybertronian technology shiz. Well done, guys, on that one.
Yeah, so I really hope that they did the same thing for this, though. If they can continue on with that, it would be really cool.
Absolutely.
I guess it's considered Trooper helmet rather than the Viper helmet.
Tapanjeet has said, do you think Tiger Force figures will also be released in normal classified format? Yes, I 100% expect that to be the case. I think with some of the figures you're looking at what do we call it, Pat? Forward?
It's like a forward repaint.
Yeah, is that we called it something? It was really good and it sounded proper marketing.
Like
Pre-paint. Thank you. Some of them we're looking at pre-paints where it's like you see the Tiger Force version before you see the regular. And in some cases, we're seeing the regular before we see a Tiger Force version. And that's what I think we're seeing here with Dusty. Anyway, to answer your question, Tapanjeet, yes, I 100% expect that. E. Thompson says, I think they said the goggles were removable. Brilliant. Okay, well, we'll see. Maybe it'll just be to remove them. Then maybe they'll just go over his eyes, over the helmet. And that's why the helmet is harder.
I don't think that would quite look right, because then you're going to have a stretched out band in there. I think that they could.
Who knows? But, I'm probably wrong.
We'll see. I hope that they do just go right on the figure. If they don't, I would imagine that you'd be able to tuck the extra band length in there some way, and just kind of wedge it in between the helmet. So
that's true. Yeah, people are saying they were definitely removable, so that's good. Thank you. This is, unfortunately, guys, as much as we try and pay attention, we don't hear everything. Apparently, the Viper 3-pack is now sold out on Hasbro Pulse, but you can get it, I believe, on Amazon. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing as well, Diana. I know you mentioned, how's it going? These are renders. Maybe I'm sure they'll be doing meticulous testing to make sure those fit in whatever facet they're used for, no doubt. And of course, the helmet will also come off. We know that. I was wondering whether the tail of the Havelock was going to be soft, but it's not. Okay. Next. Crimson Guard. I know you're liking this one, Pat. I know you were really excited. Well, you were anxious to know how they were going to do the old helmet, weren't you?
Yeah, because to be honest, I haven't been always that satisfied with the way some of the Crimson Guard helmets have come out.
You haven't been satisfied with all your helmets, have you?
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Okay. The 25th one ended up looking a little more like a bonnet, I think, sometimes. The way that it curved in there.
Yeah.
Just that one didn't look good very quickly. As the 25th line got better quickly, that one got outdated quickly. And I think that this is what I think of when I think of a Crimson Guard helmet. So it is, I kind of want to see it from the side as well, and from all angles, but it looks near perfect. I really like what they've done.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for this one. You see the backpack he's wearing as well on there too, kind of creeping through. What is that
though? Like, what does a Crimson Guard have in their backpack, or is it just decorative?
I would hope it was ammunition, but and things they need. But you're right; it's probably just put this backpack on, Crimson Guard. That's what Cobra Commander would say. A perfect voice impression, I think that was. Everyone's looking around like, is that Chris Latta? Is he back?
I'm also eager, though, to see what they do with the accessories for this, because maybe they would make the backpack openable, or maybe they'll make him come with something else. Will he come with a sword that actually seemed pretty appropriate that came with the Retaliation one?
Yeah. It looks like that has a sheath on his side, though, doesn't it? On the belt.
It may be.
I think that's where the sword goes, and I think the pistol would go in that holster, and then I think
Could just be a very decorative dagger.
True.
There, though, too.
True, very true. Anyway, yeah. No, Mike, these are not. Crimson Guard is not an exclusive, buddy. The Crimson Guard Python figure is an exclusive. So this figure we're looking at now is just a standard classified release. Calm you down. Everyone panics so much with the exclusives, don't they? I'm not even. Is it still a problem? I mean, I don't feel like it is anymore.
Well, the previous commenter said that in India, I think that globally, yeah, it's getting some of the exclusives outside the United States, I think still is kind of a problem.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, anyway, we'll move on then. But yeah, that does suck if you are struggling to get them. And I don't mean anything by it, but I just mean like in terms of how it's been in the past, how it is now, I just have not seen an issue in kind of getting pretty much any figure that they reveal. Like if you're not there straight away for the pre-orders, retail usually have it before pre-orders anyway. Retail, it's usually there waiting for us in some way, shape, or form, and they're definitely increasing the numbers on these things.
Yeah, and it sounds like that Baroness that was carded at Walmart just kind of made it out early, so I can calm myself down and stop going to Walmart 4 times a week.
Amazing. Oh yeah, that's a good shout. 77T John, 77T John. A Fred 2 head would have been great with this.
Yes.
Again, there's going to be. I'm sure there'll be multiple opportunities for them to do deluxe versions of these figures, or re-releases in some way, shape, or form, redecos. Yeah. Again, Sub-Zero. You've got to look at it from Hasbro's point of view. They are still probably going to do a 2-pack at some stage with Tomax and Zamot. Like, it's not going to be that hard to get them. They're not exclusive figures. They'll be everywhere. Just don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Night Hiker said, "Hi Chris, we'll get to Kamakura in a second. That was a really cool little reveal. That was." No idea when it'll be up for pre-order. Just to tell you now, they didn't know and we don't know. So, eventually. Okay, so that's Crimson Guard. Someone did mention that the original did have a red backpack, and that is true. They do have a red backpack in originally, and that does look black. But maybe from an aesthetic point of view on a classified figure, they thought the red didn't look as good. I don't know, possibly. What do you think, Pat?
I actually was kind of looking at that and wondering what the entire backpack looks like, because if you look at the original backpack, it kind of looks like it folds over and then clasps. So I was almost wondering if the other color was to kind of call out those 2 separate pieces.
That's actually a good shout. Yeah,
the lower part of it could still be red. I don't know. We haven't seen it, the entire thing, I don't think, yet.
That'd be fun as well. That would be a real
Unless
fun
we did, because I missed the Viper information.
Mate, we did.
And what Stalker's backpack looked like. So
the only way we'd have missed it is if they said that
right,
this is what it's going to be. Yeah, because they didn't show any more images. What else have we got going on? Okay, we'll move on then to this beautiful reveal. Now, this was another kind of... we knew these were coming. We knew the Python Officer were coming. We knew Tiger Force Recondo and Tiger Force Bazooka were coming. But to get them visually at this stage was amazing. What a beautiful deco this is, Pat, on this figure.
Yeah, and just to be clear, this is Python Trooper, correct?
I thought it's the Python Officer.
Or is it Officer?
This is the Python Officer, but the Trooper deco from the vintage line.
Well, it's the Officer deco from the vintage line. Yeah?
No. The Officer deco, the Officer and the Trooper were switched
around.
Oh,
that's right. Well, it's the Officer's body deco from the vintage line. Here we are getting this messed up.
No. This isn't. Yeah. To make it really simple.
But it's on the Officer body.
To make it really simple, back in the day, they switched the names around. That was the problem. So if you switch the names back, and we just go with what we're looking at here, this is an officer with an officer body with a Trooper vintage Trooper deco, which is technically an Officer deco anyway. Everything's still the same. It's just that the vintage names were switched around. Yeah.
Okay, the names are fixed, if you ask me, because that vintage trooper to me is still like the officer in my head.
Agreed.
That's why I'm getting a little bit messed up. Yeah, I think that this looks great. I'm wondering if the head is swappable with other heads. I mean, I'm sure it's swappable, but is the mouth covering going to be the same as what's on the standard trooper? Standard officer.
Standard officer. I don't remember. I think they're probably about the
They
same,
had
aren't
multiple
they?
colors. They had multiple colors going though on the original ones.
The reason you're mentioning that is due to the skin tone they've used, right?
Yeah, so you could swap it around. I think it's good that they changed up the skin tone so that you could actually have, if you're army building, you can swap things out and actually have things look different across the board. That's kind of the same thing with the 3-pack of Cobra Vipers. If they're throwing in different colored backpacks or different gear, you can kind of swap things around and have them look not perfectly all the same and have a little bit of difference between some of your figures.
Yeah. I think this is great, and I'm really into this, and I love everything about it. I love that deco. I think it's gorgeous. Okay, well, moving on, we also got the beautiful Tiger Force reveals, starting with Recondo, and so much personality in that head sculpt. Like you can see it, like the little smirk on his face because the tash is a little bit wonky on one side. There's a lot going on there, and he's going to have a removable hat. Looks great, amazing deco. Pat, what do you think?
So much of these figures is about the accessories that they come with. So still not having seen the accessories, there's still a lot yet to be revealed.
Yeah.
Still wondering about that Python figure. Does he just come with a rifle? I doubt it. There's probably some other accessories in there. And the same thing with Recondo here. I think it's cool that he has a compass on his belt. I have a G.I. Joe compass in the other room. I don't know what set it's from, but my mother found it somewhere and gave it to me. So I have my own G.I. Joe compass, and apparently so does Recondo. I'm kind of feeling like I should have a mustache growing in now, that should be some sort of effort for me to grow facial hair. I'm feeling left out.
I shaved for this as well, and after the thing, I'm thinking I should have just cut everything off apart from the tash and just grown that out. I might have to now. It looks amazing. Matthew, he does need a helicopter. He does 100%. He also needs to be called Wild Bill in some places. Really, really excited for this figure. Really, really happy they're doing more Tiger Force, and of course, Tiger Force Bazooka, baby. Now, a couple of things on this one, Pat, that stood out to us. I'll say my one first because again, it's all about the head sculpt for me, and I just think they've nailed it with Bazooka. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. But you picked out something really interesting about the shirt, didn't you?
Well, I think I picked out the fact that his iron-on seems to be wearing off, and that makes it just look like he's wearing a real shirt. I tend to not go for battle damage in things or too much wear to make things look weathering. I don't really go for weathering much, but this looks like his shirt. This is just his shirt, and maybe you could have some food stains on it as well or something. That would be what my shirt would be.
Some spaghetti hoops just over here.
They also mentioned on this figure that the sleeves, they tucked the bicep underneath the sleeve, I think, so that you're not going to see those seams.
Brilliant. Yeah, really, really excited for that.
It still looks like it has a cut within the sleeve, so I'm not sure exactly what they're talking about.
Maybe
what that looks like in hand.
Maybe what they're saying is the cut is there. You can see the cut from the shoulder to where the bottom of the sleeve is, and that's where it moves. So they've just added a sleeve to half of the lower part of the top of the arm. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does make sense to me. Yeah.
So the cut's actually halfway up the sleeve as opposed to where it would be on the sleeve, and that's good because it allows them to have longer sleeve shirts. Then, doesn't it? But yeah, really, really loving this one. Massive, big, just absolutely loving what they're doing. Anyway, next up, Super 7. They dropped some Super 7 reveals. I'll throw this in here at this point. So this is wave 3 now. Hang on, I like that. Gat says shirt needs some sour cream on bazooka. Yes, it does. I was thinking spaghetti hoops because then you have that orange color and it would go with the Tiger Force kind of vibe. Anyway, wave 3 of Super 7's reaction figures were revealed on the show hilariously by the team. Really enjoyed that. So we're getting Firefly, we're getting the Baroness in her black, what you kind of recognize her in effectively. Cobra Commander in the, you want to call it kind of like the hooded Cobra Commander blue, but with the chrome faceplate. A version 2 or cartoon version 2 Snake Eyes, Flint, and Roadblock. Good lineup here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if at some point we will just get a Timber carded by himself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know?
Yeah, because I'd actually be up for that. Or maybe they'll do like an animal companion set and have Polly in there and and Junkyard and some of the others.
Yeah. Again, this looks like a decent continuation of what they're already doing. I like the package art. I was curious whenever the stream was starting, there was actually package art of Scarlet and of Cobra Commander that I don't think that I recognized. And I'm curious to see if we will see those down the road. I did kind of looked at it and thought, they're not going to be showing us Super 7 art right away. So maybe that's something for later. Maybe that's an indication of more O-ring things to come, I'm hoping.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I will say though, not as many curveballs in this wave. So I feel like the next wave will probably have a few more kind of quirky characters in. I feel like initially it felt like they were doing a lot of curveballs in the first few waves, and this one seems to be kind of like very, specific characters, well-known characters. It's another Cobra Commander, another Snake Eyes, another Baroness, but then you've got it's still very core, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I would like to see more stuff from the comic book and the cartoon and almost anywhere else going into this line. Having just, straight up versions of things that I already have as O-ring figures in 3 3/4 isn't necessarily what I'm looking for from this line. So hopefully they lean a little more into like the Shock Trooper and the Games Master Trooper and things like that.
The drone, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the drone.
Well, that was Super 7. Then we got this crazy reveal. So the deluxe figure that, again, we've known about this for a long, long time. And but we didn't know who it was until very recently. And then obviously they revealed it today, which is fantastic. Kamakura. I mean, this is really outside the box thinking for Classified. And a character that obviously we've seen in kind of like Devil's Due and kind of onwards. He's had action figures, obviously, in multiple different iterations. He was in, I want to say there was like Valor versus Venom, Kamakura, or was it Spy Troops, or did he?
There was a little bit of both, actually. They released him several times.
And obviously then, we've had him in 25th. We've had him in lots of different ways as smaller action figures. Now we get him in Classified. What do you think, first off, Pat? What do you think of the character choice?
It's a good one. He's an older, well, at this point, he is an older comic book character.
Yeah.
What was it? Maybe 20 years ago that we saw him for the first time. That just doesn't even feel real.
Oh, that's weird, isn't it, when you say that?
Maybe we could get into Wraith. I kind of expected them, though, to take more of a early classified approach with this. Since a lot of that early Storm Shadow had been canceled, I kind of thought that we'd be seeing some parts of that reused. And if they're not going to reuse them for Kamakura, maybe they're not going to reuse them at all.
Yeah, possibly.
Or use them, I should say.
Yeah.
They're just going to left scrapped, I guess. But the fact that we're getting 2 different head sculpts on this figure is excellent. 2
different head sculpts, the little hood to go over to both of them as well, so you can have him hooded in both forms. And the Arashikage tattoo is amazing. The arm guard's really cool. The shins and the knee pads are awesome. I'm really digging this figure. And I'm really glad that they did. Yeah, Ryan Sweeney said slice and dice as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very good shout. A bit of forward planning there from Hasbro. Very, very likely. Really loving this, man. Really loving this because it's. I like the not quirky necessarily, but I like the outside of the box stuff thinking when it comes to kind of classified. Do we need like the core all the time? I really like them to, and this is telling me that we might be getting some very like almost like C, D, E list kind of characters in which, and I say that not in a derogatory way, just in the way that people, popularity wise and all that kind of stuff.
If you say G.I. Joe, Kamakura is not the first character people bring up.
G.I. Joe and ninjas.
But obviously, he was a major player in Sigma 6 as well.
Of course.
Justin's not here. I feel the need to say that. So
of course.
Yes. It looks like the hood is actually a hood up and a hood down. Like you pop the head off and then pop that other thing out. And then that V kind of looks like maybe it tucks in there. I'm not sure if that is definitely what's going on, but it certainly is what it looks like.
It would make a lot of sense if it did. Or if it just uses the neck piece to kind of lock that hood on a little bit as well as a possibility. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Maybe it'll just like rest on top of it as well to like create almost like a folded kind of effect. But yeah, like we'll see, I guess. I'm really excited for that one. Anyway, brilliant, awesome drop there. Now, the next one, Dr. Mindbender. More like Dr. Mindblower, Pat. Where did this come from? Also, wicked. And what are you thinking?
I'm wondering how that monocle is staying on. That's what I'm wondering.
I think it's a separate piece that's been glued on, is what I think.
I'm thinking you're right. Yeah. And the way that they've actually made Baroness look really good with her glasses a couple times now, I think that it's going to be, I have confidence that will look good in finished form.
Just to answer this question, Shogun Fox, did they say that Mindbender will be classified package or retro card back? He'll be in classified packaging, but we believe it's a deluxe. So I'm just letting you know that now. Right, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful figure, this. I love that the arm, the gauntlets look great. Obviously, the codpiece braces. I mean, the greatest invention of all time. I'm going to start rocking that look, Pat. I'm going to start literally wearing those. I'm going to have to shave my body, though, because the hair pluckage would be awful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to work for me.
I would. How many customs do you expect to see where they paint those purple legs skin tone?
None? Unless that's one you're doing?
I'm definitely doing it. There's an amazing cartoon animation error, where they flip to him and he's got like no trousers on.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
I want to see that, guys. Come on. I want to see that stuff. Anyway, that's Dr. Mindbender. Really excited for that one.
I like that they added the bands to his upper arms to kind of hide that seam, and it also puts a little more of the purple color up top. It has a nice color balance to it.
Good shout. Good shout. Cape soft goods. And interesting, they've gone with like almost like a direct representation of that vintage figure cape, haven't they?
Yeah, because sometimes Mindbender was depicted more with like two Cobra clasps that cloth then fed through and was pinned to him. So he had like these two wavy bits of cloth out front. And I kind of wondered if we got a Mindbender, if that would be how they would go. I don't know how that would look, though, in figure form. So it looks pretty nice what they've done.
Yeah, really, really excited for this one. Looks beautiful. Yes. Sorry, someone's just asked me, or someone just said deluxe question mark. Nomad's wondering. Yes, deluxe as in it'll come in a bigger box with more things. We don't know what those things are, though. We just know it's a deluxe figure. Right. No, Matthew. Dr. Mindbender doesn't get any armor because he's got to rock those. He's got to show off his amazing work that he's done in the gym. How does he find time to get in the gym as well? Like, dude's a machine. Right. What else have we got going on here?
The cape also has, they mentioned that it has that leather texture printed onto it too.
Yeah, hopefully. And I'm guessing as well the Cobra sigil in silver on there.
Yeah, that is one of the things they talked about. I know you were busy at the time.
So I'm busy the whole time. Daniel McGovern, shout out Daniel. Thanks, Chris. I can't unsee that now. Are you talking about me rocking Dr. Mindbender's braces, codpiece, and nothing else. Because I will rock that and nothing else, but it will be terrible hair pain going on. And true, Shogun Fox, he's got bat armies to protect him. Yes, he does. He doesn't need no armor. Right, let's have a look. Well, there's people saying, trying to get to everyone's comments rather than leave it all to the end. Someone's saying Zartan arms, it looks like, but different gauntlets. Very likely. Nomad's Wandering says, looks to be Zartan arms. So yes, and Sam says gauntlets are different from Zartan, though. Yeah, there we go. This is where I get all my information from, guys, from you guys. Okay, that's Dr. Mindbender. Really excited for this one. Absolutely mind-blowing. Dr. Mind-blowing. Yeah? Okay, let's go to O-Ring because Pat's not in the mood for me joking right now. Right, we're getting the Officer Trooper 2-pack for pre-order today, which has already happened. Thoughts on these reveals, Pat? We got some packaging information. We got this nice little box thing that comes with it. I quite like this.
Yeah, the box is interesting because the art on it kind of looks like the Viper, the Cobra Trooper in the foreground is wearing the officer harness. Is that right? He almost looks like it, but he's definitely got the assault rifle. It's long been like talked from collectors that it would have made more sense for the accessories for those two characters to have been swapped.
Yeah.
And I have to agree. So in that picture, which is just the cardboard box that the two of them come in, they've swapped it, which is neat to see them that way. But the figures come as they always have. I'm kind of wondering, though, is that bazooka going to have a scope on it, or is it going to look like it does there?
That one with no scope. There's no scope for that one, I don't think.
One way to keep it from breaking off, I suppose.
It's a pre-break.
Right.
Yeah. I need a
The handle on that thing, to be honest, that doesn't look like an original one because it's looking kind of thick. Like the handle of that is, it's almost like what they've done is they've taken the longer handle and made it so that it's more tabbed this direction. So whenever the figure holds on to it, it can
lines up. Yeah.
Line it up in place. Yeah.
Maybe that is the case. But yeah. And there we go. We've got the officer and the trooper there in carded form as well. But yeah, that's effectively the O-Ring stuff in terms of pre-orders. Didn't really get.
I'm wondering what else is in that box. Do you think there's a rock and roll machine gun in there? Because that would be the third thing that would make sense. That
would be wicked if they do.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed they do. Right. Okay. Well, that's O-Ring. Then, continuing with the O-Ring, we got the fail-safe code name for Wayne Ruthell, which is amazing. So, what do you think of that as a code name for Wayne?
It's cool. I was, hoping that some of this file card would be a callback to Wayne Luther, and maybe I just don't know well enough. Was he from New York? That's what I'm wondering.
Bethpage, New York.
Right. Bethpage, New York. So I kind of like the way that they've handled it. Is that if you have an important mission, you send in Ace, but for the mission to be even better, you send in them both. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, really happy that they're doing that. We get a glimpse, obviously, of his card art as well, which is really nice too. That's something we didn't really talk about much because we were focusing more on the code name. But as in, we didn't talk about when it first came up together. But that's really neat as well. So it's really good to see that kind of stuff. Yeah, that is it for the main kind of reveals. There is one more thing I want to go through, Pat, with you. I know we haven't got much time, but this is it. The last one we're going to talk about, guys, before we go, or before Pat runs away, Megatron and the Baroness Transformers G.I. Joe collaboration. We have been waiting for this forever, Pat, but let's talk about this box first, because there's a really nice little way this works, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I really like it. I like the way that they've handled the two different halves of things. It's a nice package, but I honestly don't care how it's packaged. I'm just glad that they're getting this toy to me in my hands, and I'm excited for it.
I just love the split and the fact they slide away over the brown box in the middle. I love that. I think that's really cool. And yeah, I'm really excited for this. We get this is the Baroness. Probably what you'd expect. You were a little concerned about the paint on the face, though, right?
Yeah. Vintage figures had flesh tones were only painted on whenever the base color of the plastic was going to be, like a balaclava, or there was some other purpose to it.
Yeah.
I think the only time that I can really think of where they painted the flesh tone onto an O-ring figure was in maybe like the Anti-Venom Duke, or was that it was Anti-Venom Duke and the Heavy Assault Squad Duke. There are a couple times where they did that, and it really kind of stands out and doesn't look that great.
Looks a bit thick, doesn't it?
It does. And it doesn't matter which character it is. I think that this Baroness, I'm not sure what they've gone with here. It almost looks like there's one flesh tone for behind the glasses that is different than the other flesh tone. And I'm not sure if that's because it's part of the process that they are printing them on, or if they didn't want that sharp edge for printing it out. But she does look a little bit different than the vintage one. I just finally got those O-ring figures in hand, so I'm full of thoughts on those, but we can save that for a later date.
Well, we've got it coming up next week, so yeah, we'll do it then.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Baroness. The more important feature, though, I think for this particular set is the Hiss tank as Megatron. Now, when they brought it out and showed it off, I was blown away at just how good it looked. Just how have they done this without actual Cybertronian technology? Because it is so clean and so beautifully done. Blown away.
Yeah, one of the things I'm noticing right now that maybe they talked about it and I didn't hear it, but there's definitely compatibility with the effects pieces that are coming with Transformers on this, because you could see that in the Megatron fusion cannon that's very large, an addition there up top, there is a spot for the larger hole, and then for the regular Hiss tank guns there is that new nub on the end that actually they'll plug onto. So you've kind of got both size Transformers effects pieces that are ready to go here. This definitely is. I'm amazed at the fact that they not only are they giving this to us, but they're actually making it a robot in disguise. Like, I'd be able to put out several Hiss tanks and then Megatron, and aside from the huge fusion cannon up top, it's going to completely blend in. I'm really impressed.
It's so good. And then obviously the piece de resistance is this incredible Megatron robot form, which again is so cool that we finally got this. I like that there's kind of like a little piece of the Hiss tank as a shield. I like that you get the like the kind of like the Megatron gray comes out when you transform him. Which I just think is genius to have a black Hiss tank and then predominantly grayish silver Megatron with black elements. I think that's absolutely superb. I think that's just absolutely testament to the engineering on this one.
I'm amazed at how much gray they were able to get on the robot form without having to show a ton of gray in the tank form.
And a perfect place to show it on the tank, right between the wheels, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really distracting. It doesn't really take away from the color of the Hiss tank at all. It's not like there's just gray on the side or gray on the top or somewhere that it absolutely doesn't belong. It's kind of in a spot that I'm indifferent to it being there.
He's a big boy. He's a big figure as well, isn't it? I love that.
He is. Yeah, this is a big Transformer, and then you get a G.I. Joe with it. I can remember one of the Human Alliance stuff came out for Transformers.
Yeah.
I was hoping for G.I. Joe at that point, or Mask, because Human Alliance stuff was kind of scaled very well for Mask. But, man, there'd be something else they could do with Transformers. I would love to see that crossover as well. But I think that this kind of exists more in that Transformers crossover effort that we've been seeing in a lot of things with Jurassic Park and Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. Now we have Transformers with G.I. Joe, but isn't this the best one of all of those?
Absolutely. One thing that someone's mentioned to me, which I like this little thing here, Scott. Hi, Scott. You can see part of his chest on the rear of the His 2, and yeah, you can. And you can also see the toe hook in the middle of his chest at the bottom.
Oh yeah,
He's
you
poking up.
can.
That's really cute. I love that. Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah, that is kind of like that bit at the back, isn't it? So yeah, brilliant. And good spot as well, Scott, for that one. When they just absolutely blown away by this, mate. I know you have to go, Pat. So if you want me to just continue this with everybody,
I can still talk about this for a little bit.
Okay. So we're with the Hiss tank. What are you guys thinking about this? Well, McDowell says we need a Hound Vamp next. Yes, we bloody well do. I feel like that is almost a no-brainer, isn't it, Pat?
Yeah, I don't know how many figures we will get out of this, because when you think of the short list of Transformers characters that would be great to have in the G.I. Joe toy line, I don't think that we would ever get to anything like Starscream as the Sky Striker. That'd just be way too big and ridiculous. So there is going to be that cross-section of what can they do that makes sense. And yeah, Hound as a Vamp, that transforms this time, because they kind of did Hound as a Vamp in that San Diego set, but it was just a Vamp. It didn't transform. So that'd be wonderful to actually have it transform.
Absolutely.
And other characters, I think that Optimus Prime and Bumblebee probably are also on the short list of ones that we may see. And probably from the Decepticons, maybe Soundwave as something, because he's not going to be a tape player, but you could turn him into some sort of Cobra something.
Be a sound stage, the whole stage.
Right. Yeah, Cold Quarter with Soundwave.
Exactly. That would. Oh, mate, stop it! You're giving me crazy ideas.
Actually, a Soundwave with a Cold Slither Zartan would be really cool.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? This is the thing as well. We're going to get some really nice ways of getting O-ring figures out of these too. So, I mean, you've got a Megatron. You can almost certainly assume Optimus Prime is around the corner. And Bumblebee, again, such a big name. I could see them doing a few of these. I don't think it's going to stop. I don't think it's going to stop at this, honestly. But absolutely, just blown away by this Megatron. I'm going to stay and chat with the rest of the people chatting here, Pat. It's up to you, mate. You can just go whenever you need to. I'm not going to put any pressure on you.
I unfortunately probably do need to get going.
Everyone say bye to Pat in the comments. Say thank you, Pat, for joining us. And
thanks for having me on again.
Mate, thank you very much for joining me for this. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going anywhere. I will stay on. I'm just going to kick Pat off the line. Love you, Pat. Take care, buddy.
There, that's going to be the most delayed one at all, because I will have done it then, and then you do it at the end. It's the worst delay ever.
And I can't even do anything about it editing-wise. What a shame. Loads of people are saying bye, mate. So thank you very much,
Pat.
Thanks
a lot.
Take care, buddy. Have a good day at work. Right. Now that douchebag's got... I'm just kidding. I love Pat. You know I do. Anyway, what are we going to talk about then, guys? Well, lots of things. What else happened in the stream? We got some info about... I'm just going to take... let's take Megatron off the screen, and you'll just have my face now for a little while. Right, let's do a little bit of kind of like, I suppose, like a Q&A kind of bits and pieces now. So, what have I missed? I feel like there's something I missed. Retro card backs. I do feel like I have some images of those somewhere. The problem was, obviously, while I was doing this, I was having to like take pictures, post them on Facebook and Twitter, and then also get them ready for... Honestly, these, as much as I love these streams, and I do, I think they're so awesome, and they give us so much freaking amazing like stuff that comes out of them. There's so much that just I miss, because like I'm kind of like running around trying to like get these streams ready and stuff like that. It's just an absolute nightmare sometimes. But and typically I took pictures of these and put them on my phone, and I didn't post them anywhere, I don't think. So I'll just have to send these to my laptop, where we can talk about these, because obviously there's some interesting things to come out of the retro card backs. They've revealed, even though we've been talking about it for a long period of time now, that the retro classified card backs will be a Walmart exclusive, something we've been saying for a long period of time now. And not only, obviously, we've seen the Baroness that snuck out early, and that Emily did say as much on that issue. I'm getting there, guys. Sorry. We'll start with this image. We'll start with this image. Let me just share my screen. Sorry, I'm. This happens, and now I don't have Pat to fill the void while I'm messing around trying to find an image. There we go. Right. So this image here showed all 4 figures for the retro card back line that they've revealed. There's going to be more. Don't worry about that. Lady J, Baroness, Gung Ho, Destro. Now, from what we could tell and what they were saying, we know basically what Baroness comes with. We know her loadout in terms of accessories. Gung Ho was an interesting one because, my goodness, that dude comes with a lot of new parts, doesn't he? Again, I should be quicker at this, and I'm not. But he comes with so many new parts, new pieces, and I mean, that's the one that's the one that literally screams to me. Like, just so many cool aspects to this figure. The backpack, the kind of the weapon, kind of like grenade launcher thing, the hat, or the cover, I should say, the secondary vest. The deco is absolutely gorgeous. The tattoo's bigger. There's loads more going on with that Gung Ho, and he's bald, so he's not. It's a different head sculpt, guys. Which I did actually say at the time when it was revealed that it was a different head sculpt. Sorry, I'm doing something annoying here. Apologies. Sorry, was trying to start up on my laptop. Yeah, so loads of new parts on this Gung Ho, which is absolutely insane. It's effectively a new figure. And the only thing I will say, it's a shame that we can't actually get it in a standard classified box because, you know, it's going to kind of throw some of the collection out with him being so brand new and so different. And obviously the others have slightly different decos. Destro is like chromed. Was he chromed before? See, this is how bad I am with this stuff. I literally open it, it goes over there in a display, and I never see it again. But this is going to make me want to play with those figures. But Destro looks shinier to me. That looks like chrome on the gauntlets and the helmet, and that's awesome. Card art looks really dope as well for Destro. I think that's a really good update of his vintage card art, but as the classified figure. I love that card art. Yes, Christoph, I agree with you on the white border. I miss that, and it definitely makes it, even if it isn't the case, it makes the card backs look sturdier having a white border. So I don't know why they don't do it. Anyway, what else we got going on? Matt Crosser says, I'm not hair challenged, and I'm glad that he's bald. It looks more like I always imagined he did when I was a kid. Totally, Matt, totally. Very, very cool fact that you're getting another head sculpt too. And the more the merrier for me. Like, 2 Gung Ho head sculpts. It's amazing. What else we got going on here? Oh, I wish they used the classified packaging, but with retro colors. That would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, like the box, effectively. Yeah. Try to make it more. Yeah, what they're doing here, obviously, is the same thing they do with all of their brands, though, isn't it? It's like Marvel have the throwback cards. Star Wars and the Black Series do it as well. So it's not Power Rangers. Do Power Rangers do it? Obviously, they didn't have card backs necessarily. They've always had kind of boxes, haven't they? I think. Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm not a massive Power Rangers nerd, so I don't know, unfortunately. But yeah, Brian Greenwood, Gung Ho must have. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else going on in the comments? Daniel says, "Oh, so this was before the other comment, I guess. Before the other comment from who was the other comment from? Sorry, I'm all over the place at the moment. But anyway, you like the Gung Ho is bald now because you are hair challenged, Daniel. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Okay. Right. So, yeah. And we also got, obviously, a view of... I don't have a picture of it. I don't have a close-up picture, unfortunately, of Lady J. But it would appear that she's getting... a few bits and pieces as well, but we couldn't quite see because I couldn't zoom in on it. And I don't think they even really did a super close-up of Lady J. And they might have done. There might be images out there. I'll just have to pay close attention next time. Mike, I mean, what a day. What a stream. Get your questions in now, guys, now that I'm here and focusing on it. Any questions you have for any of the reveals? Anything you just want to ask in general? Anything you want to propose? I'm going to throw out a little question for everyone else in the meantime as well. And that is, based on this absolute freaking beauty, what would you like to see the Transformers G.I. Joe mashup collaborative, please? Let me know in the comments. Before we go, I'll get to some of those. What we got going on here? Trevor says, happy I'm not a mint on card collector, or I would need all of these, mate. And you're talking about the retro card backs as well. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get these, I think. Just going to have to. Absolutely. Mike Powers says, that gung ho has a special place in my heart for me. I got him for my birthday from my girl crush when I was like 8. That's amazing. Love to hear these stories. Thank you, Mike. Brilliant. Ryan, sorry, I can't really go into details because I didn't see them all. I don't think there was I'm going to have to zoom in on that Lady J image and see what she's got going on. In fact, I can do that because we do have a picture of it. I just need to zoom in on it. It just won't be very clear. It looks like she's got the backpack, like the original backpack, like the kind of more like the classic backpack, and the camera and the spear and something else, but that's all I can really make out. I know I'm not looking. I'm looking at Megatron at the moment, and we'll get to that in a second. But that's all I can tell you, Ryan. But it does look like she gets some retro accessories or retro-inspired accessories. It's not the same backpack. Definitely not. So I can at least be clear on that. Matt was a little bit disappointed with no news about any new vehicles for either size line. Yeah. Again, let's face it. There was a lot of stuff they revealed today. There's going to be more, and I think we're still not even scratching the surface of 2022. And trust me when I say that, we are not scratching the surface of 2022. There's a lot more coming. Trust me. So I think we're going to see vehicles in both scales, is what I expect. Obviously, we've got the Tiger Force Flint and vehicle set, which Tiger Force Duke. I've just probably blown everyone's minds there, but that wasn't a Freudian slip. That was just me being an idiot. Tiger Force Duke and vehicle set that we know about is coming. I don't know about Tiger Force Flint, just to back up there and try and dig myself out of a weird hole. But no, I don't know anything. It's gonna happen though, isn't it? Surely it's got to. So I expect vehicles in both scales coming because with the vintage line. We're getting these vehicles. We're getting Transformer vehicles. I mean, wow. Matthew is more concerned. Matthew Craps is more concerned with the cardstock they're using. The white outline would be good. I agree. It does look thin, and the ones they showed on the stream already looked a little bit wavy. But yeah, nature of the beast, I guess. What else have we got going on? Jason Hayes, what about that intro song? A lot of fun. It was great, wasn't it? Although it makes me wonder why Word Burglar has never been kind of like contracted to do some stuff for Hasbro, because he's like the biggest musical G.I. Joe related thing ever. And I just feel like, maybe there's some like, I don't know, maybe there's some copyright issues or something there. But I think Word Burglar needs to be commissioned for something. It just needs to happen. 100%. I did enjoy it though. I did enjoy that song. I thought it was quite fun, and they did it twice, didn't they, as well? Ritz Murphy says, "I wonder if Lady J is still bald." Yeah, under the hat maybe. I don't know. I think it's just going to be the hat hair piece. I don't think you're going to get the other piece with that. You might do. I just couldn't see it in the card. When can we see Scrap Iron? Oh, God, he's awesome. I don't think there's been any like. I don't know of any leaks about Scrap Iron, so I'm not sure about Scrap Iron. If we'll see him, I don't think we'll be seeing him in 2022. But I would love to see him at some point. He'd be good for a deluxe because he could come with like almost like a bat factory or something. Do you know what I mean? Like he could come with like tools and all sorts of bits and pieces to like build a bat or something, or pieces of a bat. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I would love something like that. Maybe like half a bat torso he could come with as a deluxe. That'd be so cool on a table. Or like hooked up onto like one of those like boards like Cyborg is in Justice League. I'm not sure. I know that was a random reference, wasn't it? But you know where he's kind of like up on that kind of like metal thing where his dad's working on him. Something like that would be wicked. But like half a bat torso with like the bits of a bat kind of hanging out the bottom. That would be so cool. Matthew Sample says Gung Ho only getting one of the two, but we'll get one of the others for my completionist side. Only one getting two. Not sure if I've read that correctly. Sorry, Matthew. But yeah, you need to get at least one of the Gung Hos. And the retro one isn't a bad one to get because it's absolutely cool. So RKW1138 retro classified card backs Walmart exclusives are going up during the Walmart CollectorCon in March, which Emily said she wants to say March 24th, but it could be slightly different. But you know, either or, it's in March, and it'll be when Walmart CollectorCon goes up. To answer your question, Adam. Okay, we're getting some answers now on Transformers. What would you like to see in the Transformers G.I. Joe collaboration world? Vamp Hound. That actually, I mean, Adam, that's a no-brainer. Good shout. And definitely one I'd like to see, 100%. Okay. And coming back to some other questions here from Tim, or not questions, but comments. I like the clarification of how the HasLab file cards will be presented. Yeah, totally. Because obviously the HasLab ones are only going to be UK and US release. Is that right? Did she say UK? It's US anyway. So it's going to be English speaking card backs only. So you're going to have because they're redoing them almost identically to how they used to do them. So that's interesting and fun to know. Anyway, what else have we got going on? Mike, wish we could have seen a better look at Lady J's face and makeup. Same. Yeah, they didn't zoom in on Jay, did they, at all? So it wasn't just me that thought that. Unless you're only looking at the pictures I showed, because I think there might have been a close-up of Jay. I just can't find it. And I'm desperate. If there is one, doesn't matter. I'm sure you'll all see it at some point. Brian is asking or saying, if Mindbender is a deluxe, I want him to come with a brainwave scanner. I mean, that would be really cool and would make a lot of sense. But the information I'm aware of, Dr. Mindbender will be a deluxe, but we don't know any of the other details. But that would be wicked, wouldn't it? And you kind of almost expect it to some degree. Every vehicle's yeah, Trevor, the best part of the live stream. Now they need every vehicle to transform. It kind of feels like that is the case for retro now for the O-ring style. Jimmy, yes, Jimmy Godfrey, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you on the live stream with us. I really want to see that Recondo in his original deco. I'll just shout out Jimmy, amazing customizer, dio builder. I actually have one of Jimmy's amazing dios that I ended up stealing off him after Rollout Roll Call many moons ago, which is this gorgeous like landscape, kind of grey, kind of rocky with some ruins in it and like a waterway and it's just incredible. It's unreal. And I ended up just taking it off him, and he delivered it to my house when I was in the UK, to my mum and dad's house. And I think I wasn't even there, so it was him and my dad had to move it into my barn storage. So thank you, Jimmy, for that, and also for the amazing LRRP customs you did for me of Stalker, classified Snake Eyes, and Tommy Arashikage. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, you really want to see that Recondo in his original deco, and let's face it, it's going to happen, isn't it? You can't. They're obviously doing a pre-paint there, so that's definitely going to happen. Okay. So Tyrone says, kind of disappointed in the Mindbender. Wish it was more modernized. I get that, honestly, because I was really enjoying the kind of balance where you had, yes, I can tell what figure that is, but then also there's some updates to it. I was kind of enjoying that phase because it went from like, really different when you're looking at Duke and Scarlet and Snake Eyes and Roadblock and Cobra Commander. You're looking at those figures and you're going, they're really different. But there's some really different. And then there was the next phase where you had characters like Destro who looked like, and he was kind of early anyway, but he looked like the original figure, but there was some textural development going on. Then you had characters like Flint and Jay, which looked like, early stylings, very vintage inspired, but had got loads of nice updates too. Like that secondary on Flint worked really well. Beachhead's a similar one. Definitely Beachhead, but has some kind of, upgrades going on. That's where I was liking it. Now it's getting definitely way more vintage inspired. It's almost like bigger versions of the original figures, which to a degree, like I do hope that more is implemented going forward, where we actually see some stuff changed on the figures a little bit. But I've got to say, as much as you were disappointed in the Mindbender Tyrone, I bloody love that figure. I'm not saying you're wrong, obviously. I'm just saying that, we have different opinions of that initial response, definitely. But I get what you're saying, buddy. 100% get what you're saying. Action figure expert. I think they will make a Mobat or maybe a Mauler out of Optimus Prime. It looks like you said Optiprism Prime there, but Optimus Prime, yeah. Optimism Prime. I like that. A bit of optimism there in your Prime. So I think we're all expecting an Optimus Prime. Mobat or Mauler is a good shout, but I want to say, and this is just me, but the APC screams Prime to me. Just, I suppose, because it's a bit longer. It's got the, the kind of front would be, I could imagine the front would work really well as Prime's chest with the windows and everything. I could be way off here, but the APC would be a good one, wouldn't it? And then you get to throw all the troops in the back. It'd be sick. And then we get an APC again. And I feel like that hasn't been done for a while. And then customize an Optimus Prime into an ATC for Z-Force. Oh my God, this is what I just want it for that. I just want a Z-Force Optimus Prime. Okay, yeah, cool. So thank you, Action Figure Expert. Good shout as well. Mauler and Mobat for Prime. Good shout. Danny of Our Times says, how do you feel about them bringing in newer Classified Joes, Kamakura, before releasing the OGs? I don't mind, because I know they're coming. Like, I'm patient like that. I'm not, I can wait. Like, I've waited, I still don't have a Lightfoot in the modern era, Danny. And I'm not like going, why haven't you released it yet? I just know I'll wait. Eventually it'll come. Eventually these, if you build it, they will come. That makes no sense at all. But I like the fact they're mixing it up. I think it needs that. I don't think we need to do OG 13 first, then 84, so on and so forth. I don't think we need to do that. I think we need to show the different eras and all the different characters, and as long as it makes sense from from a character perspective, and what they come with makes sense, and all the the accessories they come with, and is it working in the story they're telling, and as long as that makes sense, I don't mind. I'm happy to wait for. I mean, I know we've got Airtight, General Hawk, all these kind of characters that we haven't seen hide nor hair of yet, that you could throw in there. Give me some others. Rock and Roll is another one. Who else would you think? Breaker? We've got Breaker. What am I talking about? We've got Breaker. What am I talking about? We've got, obviously, a Commando Snake Eyes. I don't know. I'm cool, honestly, with waiting and getting all these different characters coming. That's just me, though. What do you? I mean, do you like? Are you like? Are there any particular characters you're chomping at the bit at? Are you oh, come on, we've got a Kamakura, but haven't got. Tell me one. Just give me one of yours that you want to see, and I'll put it on the screen in a sec, Danny, when I come to it. What we're talking about here? Robert is saying, hi, Robert. What post a Real American Hero characters do I want in Classified? Post Real American Hero is a bloody good one, isn't it? And I think for one, and this might be like a lot of people's, but I'd love to see Dawn Moreno. I think that figure would be outstanding. And obviously, get more female figures in the Classified line as well. And I think Dawn Moreno, Helix is another one. Helix and Dawn Moreno for me, and not just because they're female, but just because I really like their characters. Their design, they're amazing. I think as action figures, and especially in Classified, they would look outstanding. In terms of any other characters, post a Real American Hero, I'd like to see. Oh, that's a good shout, because when I try and think about who's come post a Real American Hero, I I trip up because I can't think. There was that one ninja that was similar to Kamakura, wasn't it? Tiger Paw, was it? I'd like to see that because I love that green. I love that deco, the orange and the green. That came in that set, didn't it? That kind of 25th set, that modern 4-inch set with the Arashikage Dojo. Was it Tiger Paw? Oh, it was Tiger something, wasn't it? It was amazing. Let me know in the comments what his name was because I've completely forgotten. But I absolutely love that figure for some random reason. Who else? Who else? What do you want to see post a Real American Hero? Because those are mine, I think. They're all ninja based. I know that Helix isn't necessarily ninja, but she's got martial arts experience. Anywho, okay, that's me. I want to hear what you guys think as well. And Robert, good question. Very good question, buddy. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Scott. Oh, you missed on their live stream. Okay, fair enough. Did they mention an O-Ring Duke and Cobra Commander? I thought they mentioned them on the previous stream. Now, they revealed them on the last stream, and they're not for pre-order this time around, so they're later in the year. There'll be pre-orders coming later, but they didn't actually show anything about Duke or Cobra Commander, no. Just to answer your question there. Oh, here we go. Yorktown Joe saying a purple Warpath MOBA. Oh, my God. I mean, it's more maroony burgundy color, but I'll give you that. Warpath MOBA. Mate. He's a mini-con as well, so he'd be huge. It'd be such an ironic twist that he ends up bigger than than most of his compatriots in the G1 line. Soundwave's Cobra Bunker. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is a good shout? That is a good shout. Turn the interior could all be like the display, and here, the little tape deck could be molded into that. You're a genius. I like that, Yorktown Joe. I like that a lot. Yeah, purple Warpath. A Warpath Mobat though, or a Warpath Mauler. A Warpath Mauler, and then the Mobat you could use for either or really. I like them both. The Mauler, I like the Mauler more because it's got that kind of real future-y tank kind of, because it's a concept, isn't it? It's not I don't think it fully came out. I know they concepted it and built one or a few, but I'm not sure if it got full release. Correct me if I'm wrong, military heads. But I do like to kind of keep close to the military research on that one. I had a great time researching the Vamp. Oh my goodness, all of the kind of all of that history. Go and check out our assembly required armor presentation we did. You can find it on Codename Iowa's YouTube channel. You can find it on our YouTube channel under specials in the playlists. And it's great. I did it with Pat and Phil of Articulated Points. We did the Vamp and we did the His Tank kind of histories of all the releases. But I did a little history of the Vamp and all that information about the history of it. So much fun. Love it. So go check that out for any more on that. Ryan says, oh, yeah, okay. I like that the new packaging will have cardboard weapon crates for the weapons. I can't wait to see what they look like. Yes, so they mentioned that there was going to be a box that went inside with all the accessories in it. And going forward, they were going to make those little crate designs, which is so cool because then it adds to display, doesn't it? And I like the fact that what we're missing out on in window, we're gaining in other areas. So for me, that's a win. And the other area for the non-plastic packaging that's a win for me is the artwork that's going to be displayed. We can actually see the artwork in full, and that is really important for me, I think. Way more than having the window on it. So I know it kind of makes a bit of a change in the way the packaging goes from your collection, but you can still side it on and have the numbers, I'm sure. So it's not, it's not the end of the world, I don't think, on that one. For me personally, it might be for others, but I quite like that, and I like the fact they're going full cardboard on it. Yes, Joe says, I was hoping for more O-rings too. Be patient, there will be more coming, don't worry. Laco J78, my wallet is hurting after today. Was going to pass on Transformers mashup, but then they included O-ring Baroness, so had to buy. They suckered me right in. You and me, and probably everyone else on this stream, both. Doesn't make any sense, does it? But yes, I know the feeling. I just had to get that Megatron. Had to. Yeah, there is a well, we say 2023. That is not actually the case for everything, Tapanjit. No, some of this is actually for 2022. In terms of some of the pre-order stuff and so on and so forth. So some of the reveals might be a bit later in the year as well that we've seen, but I still think some of it's still anchored to the late end of 2022. 2023 is always like, I think they're throwing out some worst case scenario dates in all honesty, but some of it with 2022, some of it 2023. But I mean, if you're not patient at this stage, and we've still got stuff coming as well, don't forget that will be in our hands very, very soon. So I think it's like the reveals make you want them, obviously, but we'll be getting stuff in that time, so it's all good. Shogun Fox says, I thought they showed somebody riding a claw. Oh, okay, yeah. So they were what they were showing were classified figures on covers. Recreating the covers using classified figures. And one of those covers has Cobra Commander on a claw. So obviously there's a claw there, but it must have been a custom. Or it's a massive reveal and we're getting a Cobra claw at some point, which would be brilliant, wouldn't it? But I don't think they would have given that to the because it wasn't in-house, I don't think. I think it was a fan-led thing that they picked up on. Or I might be wrong, and we're getting a claw. That's the new we're getting a flag. What we got going on? Yeah, action figure expert. I'm going to say it was to me, okay. I was split here because I wanted to go live. We wanted to get our pre-orders in, and at the same time, we wanted to soak all of it in. At 2 hours, it's brilliant. That's great. Loads to reveal. Loads of great content. But we were sitting there waiting, watching it, and Pat and I were like, Pat, you're going to have to go to work soon, and he's going to be late because of me. So, Pat, you're an absolute legend for staying on the stream so long. If you've just joined us and you're just seeing my ugly mug, Pat was on earlier on, and he did the whole main part of the episode. So thank you, buddy. But yeah, it was 2 hours long and great for fans to get loads of content, loads of focus on other things. Renegade Game Studios I haven't even mentioned, but they revealed loads of cool stuff, including the new minis, the new Mission Critical game that they've got coming out for G.I. Joe and their brand. So that's something you can check that out on our Facebook page. I'm not going to bring the images up now. But close-ups as well of all of the minifigures, which look really good for that particular set. Really, really cool. So yeah, but 2 hours, man, it was killing us, but only because we needed to go on. I still haven't had a pee break, and I'm still going, and I'm an hour and a half in now. Oh, Ryan, 100%, mate. So many Serpentor hints. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because it's not making sense with the things we've got going on. He says, not being able to share, remove that. There we go. Yeah, so yes, so many Serpentor hints. So many. He's got to be coming, hasn't he? I mean, Emily was saying she this I command and she's going to get a staff. And I mean, they are almost basically revealing another figure, aren't they? Anyway, maybe we will get the claw RKW 1138. Maybe we will. Fingers crossed. Yeah, dates-wise, Charlie, I did mention a little bit. You've probably already heard. But yeah, I believe that we're talking for some of these, we're talking June, August, and November for the pre-orders, okay? They may say 2023 on some of them, but that will be worst-case scenario. And I will also add that some of the reveals are probably then pushed then into 2023, maybe. But yeah, just to give it's not an exact science, unfortunately. And some dates that we get hold of, you kind of think, okay, and then some you think, so you're kind of trying to make an educated guess on a lot of this. The best thing is to just go, okay, worst case scenario, and then you get it earlier. That's what I think anyway. Action figure expert, really like the music video. It was great, wasn't it? Really cool. I'm glad they played it twice so you got to see it again, because initially I'm getting prepared for the stream and wasn't really paying attention to it. So I'm glad they played it at the end as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. What we got? Yeah. Plastic Battles. Yeah, totally. I'm a bit behind now, I've noticed. So I'm going to be playing catch up here. Sorry. I talk for ages. I'm sorry, guys. Plastic Battles, yes. Paul, love you, man. That's what I said about Word Burglar. So weird. Absolutely. We need to get Word Burglar doing something official. Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed that comes sooner rather than later. Word Burglar is awesome, says James. Yeah, shout out to Word Burglar. Shout out, buddy. We've got some amazing stuff coming for you guys. He shared with me some demo stuff that like we're working on together, obviously. So he's sending me like, recordings he's doing. And brilliant. Some of the best music I've personally ever worked on is coming out of what myself and Word Burglar are working on. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Oh, yeah, there was a massive IDW portion of the stream, Trevor, wasn't there? And yeah, ironic that I said that to Pat at the time. I'm like, it's such a shame that IDW are losing the license. And they've got this huge segment on it where they're talking about, the Saturday morning adventures, which sounds like it's doing amazingly well, which is great because I love that. And I want more of that stuff, even if it's with another company. But yeah, it was really cool. They had a lot of good focus on all of the different stuff they're doing at IDW at the moment. Yeah, and excited to see that silent issue as well with all. And I know a few artists that have been involved in that. Obviously, people are making it obvious and clear in their posts online. I'm not going to say any names just yet anyway until it comes out. But I've seen some of the pages and they look phenomenal. So yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Shogun Fox definitely need the ferret for the twins. We do, don't we? We bloody well do. Deluxe is what I'm saying. The two like crimson, like redeco ferret briefcase, not briefcases. That'll be with the next deluxe suit versions. Oh my god, they have to do so many of these. I'm just so excited that we've got all of this to come. Eventually, you just know it's all going to come eventually, especially if it continues to do really well. If this continues to be the force that it is, the full force that it is, we're going to be getting this stuff for years. And I'm all for that. They've got plenty of characters to get stuck into, plenty of the lore to get stuck into, and then obviously extending from that, other areas of eras and all. I'm just, I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know. I want to. I'll stop doing that now. Word Burglar isn't a thing. He's a force. Correct. Thanks, Diana. Oh, yes, Mike. Scrap Iron had that rocket launcher, you're saying that there's a rocket launcher that we've already seen that he had. But he had a rocket launcher, and that would be good to have, wouldn't it? Will they ever finish in the recent Operation Blackout? James, don't think so. I don't think so. I do feel like there's a couple like with Operation Blackout, unless we're going to see something soon, because I haven't heard hide nor hair of it. And there was supposed to be sequels coming, and there was supposed to be like additional content the only additional content we've had were the movie skins for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. And maybe a couple of other little bits and pieces, but not much, like extra levels or anything like that. And also, I was told at some point there was going to be a sequel. So unless that's still in the works, who knows? Also, one little thing I want to talk about Operation Blackout, this really cute thing happened that nobody picked up on. And it was quite fortunate nobody picked up on it. When Operation Blackout dropped, the first day it was out, and I played it online, I went through everything you do on it, and I did a stream and everything. So it is physically documented, this error. They had, by accident, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow in their movie costumes on the concept boards for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, which I flicked through slowly and talked about them all and everything. Didn't realize at the time. And then found out shortly afterwards that they'd taken them down. So lo and behold, I go back on Operation Blackout, load it up, not there anymore. And I'm like, interesting. And my video is still alive My playthrough of that game is still there, including the physical evidence that those two, that the movie costume concepts were there. So they were there the whole time, and we never noticed. Well, even though I was told shortly afterwards, which was amazing, isn't it? That's so amazing. Anyway, sorry to answer your question, the most long-winded way ever, James. I don't know. I hope that we get something like almost like a little throwback to some of the designs in that game. Like Sci-Fi, I thought was super cool, and he came in like a couple of really cool like iterations on there. The bats and the big kind of mech bat things are kind of interesting. I'd like to see those kind of revisited. And I'm glad we got the bat that we did. I will say that. And Storm Shadow. Obviously, I'd love to see them do that Storm Shadow that's on the website with the tattoo that kind of featured in Operation Blackout without the tattoo. I'd be all into that totally. This is the longest live stream since the Hasbro one, isn't it? But James, don't know, but I would love to see it personally. And James, let me know who you'd like to see, please. What else have we got going on? Are you referring to yourself here, Sam? Because this is a live stream. But yeah, it is a little bit dark sometimes, isn't it? It's like a little bit offensive, and like, you know, the messages is, I don't know, it just gets a little bit like, I like what we're doing on here. I like, you know, you guys, I love it. My audience is fantastic. I really enjoy you guys, and I really enjoy the comments you make and the questions you pose and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it does get a little bit like, oh, please, come on. It's a bit nasty. You know, there are people at the other end of this stuff too. Like, I don't know, it's toys at the end of the day. I do get a little, like, if you guys listen to Thew or watch his amazing Transformers videos, Thew Adams, I love his channel. It's amazing. He's said it as well at times, like, you know, he likes the audience he's cultivated, and he, you know, and he has gone off on tangents sometimes of like, you know, these are toys, guys. Like, you can enjoy them if you want. That is an option. But yeah, Sam, I don't know, buddy. Twins are sold out apparently, but that was probably ages ago, probably 20 minutes ago now. What we got? Okay, we got a little wish list from Damien here. Raptor, Sci-Fi, Voltar, Lightfoot, Eels, Classic for classifieds. Mate, you have said all the correct things to me there just by saying Lightfoot, but Raptor and Voltar would be great. Sci-Fi, yeah, 100%. Eels. Oh, I mean, there are so many. Daniel, what could work as Optimus Prime for the Joes color-wise? Well, doesn't really matter, does it, color-wise? Because Optimus Prime ain't, Megatron ain't black, and they still managed to make that work. So I'm cool, man. I'm cool with getting him in any deco, honestly, because he's obviously going to transform and be Optimus Prime. So, but I'm still saying APC, 100%. I'm not going to Rolling Thunder. Could you imagine that? Transformers Jojo collaborative Rolling Thunder HasLab. Just putting it out there. I would be all over that. Prime as the Rolling Thunder, just like they've done in the third party. I'm having it. Having it large. Yes, Brian says Optimus Prime APC, please. You're right. You're correct. Bumblebee Mobat, says RKW1138. Bumblebee Mobat. Interesting. Bumblebee as a tank. I'd see him as like, oh God, I'd see him more as like a Jeep. So, like, again, but you've got Hound for that. Maybe the Ore Striker? Is that a bit of a stretch? I don't know. There's loads, isn't there? Loads of different vehicles we can choose from. Maybe some sort of Jeepy thing for Bumblebee, though. Mike Powers says, no, they didn't show her up close, talking about Lady J. So we'll play the waiting game on Lady J and retro carded. Danny said, I'm guessing you're talking about Dr. Mindbender. Imagine him being deluxe with a trouble bubble. That would be amazing too. But I can tell you now it's a deluxe, not a figure with vehicle. So I think we know he's not coming with a trouble bubble. Just want to kind of make that clear in terms of information and leaked info. Yes, MCR Baroness is the O-ring figure with Hiss Megatron. She's not classified or modern 4-inch or anything like that. She is an O-ring figure. They're going to be doing these as O-ring collaborations, and I guess we're going to see an Optimus Prime one soon as well. Fingers crossed. I can't wait. No, Juliano, I can confirm that Mindbender is not aerial. I can confirm that that is not the case. That figure and pet will be something different. Mindbender is a deluxe figure. Okay. Yes, finally, Recondo got some love, and I know someone very happy will be very happy with a Recondo figure, and that is Plastic Battles Paul Panfalone. Give us a shout out, Paul. Yeah, he's already said it. Look, see, he's ahead of me. Rekondo's sculpt is perfection. It is, mate. It is. What I will say about that Recondo figure, if I can actually, while we're here, we might as well show some visual stuff, because I mean it's a bit boring just looking at my ugly mug, isn't it? There we go. Recondo, I love the head sculpt. You can see that the moustache is a bit wonky, which means he's got a bit of a grimace on his face, or a little kind of like, grin or something going on. I think that is beautiful. The more like quirky elements they bring to the head sculpts, the better. And him and Bazooka are brilliant. And Zorana. Zorana's head sculpt's gorgeous too. Look at that. Oh, absolute perfection. Dusty. Fantastic. I can't wait. I want to see his hair, because obviously that's removable. I want to see what his head's looking like. Crimson Guard, amazing. I think they've done a great job on these figures. Oh, that Python officer, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, and there's your Recondo and Bazooka. Love them. Absolutely. But talking about Recondo, there you go, Paul. Plastic Battles Panfalone. That's for you, mate. You're welcome. Like I had anything to do with it. You're welcome, mate. Idiot that I am. What else we got going on here? Damien, yes. Destro's Despoiler. That would be pretty, because it's only small, so that would work for classified. Yeah. Yes. And it would give us Destro in his gold with the cape. Do you know, you've got a bloody point there. You've got a point there. That I could see that happening sooner rather than later as well. Definitely. Good shout. Good shout. What we got? Oh, Mike Powers, another good shout. Sea Spray could be the whale. Mate, it doesn't matter. Warpath is about as well known as Sea Spray. They're both mini cons. And I don't think they could. You'd have to do a Warpath tank. Sea Spray is known in the Transformers universe very well. I did a Sea Spray custom. Go on Hoarder. I'm shouting Hoarder out again. Brilliant new app. You can get it download on iOS or Android phones. Check it out. I'm just loading it up myself. And you can find my, I think I did a custom on there just by typing in Sea Spray even, I think. I might even try that, see if it works. Yeah, it does. Oh my God, I love how this app works. I just typed in Sea Spray and there is my custom Sea Spray. Well, it's not G.I. Joe, it was a True Heroes vehicle. And yeah, there you go, guys. Yeah, you like that? Hoarder, check it out. Amazing app that I've developed with a colleague in the UK, a little team behind it. It's amazing. It basically, you can post items that you get in your collection and build collections on there. It's amazing, and you can check out stuff people have posted. It's got loads of stuff on there, loads of amazing content. Just a really, really cool little app. And I'll throw out a little advert for it here while I've got you. And yeah, you can check out my Sea Spray on that app just by typing in Sea Spray in the search. It's that simple. You can search for all sorts of cool stuff. If it's on there, it's on there. If people have tagged their stuff properly, then it's on there. Anyway, that was a little sidebar. Get involved, get on it, join up. It's free. It's a free app, and you can just use it to your heart's content. It's a new little social network, basically, for things, for toys, for collectibles, for whatever you collect, you can put on there within reason. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So Sea Spray, a whale as well. That'd have to be HasLab, and I'd be all for it. That and a prime Rolling Thunder would have to be HasLab, and I think a Sea Spray would have to be, if it's a whale for vintage O-ring, would have to be that. But I'd have it all day long. The size of Sea Spray though, he'd be massive, wouldn't he? You can't literally do Cybertronian, technology for that. So it would be all over the place. What we got going on? Beggars can be choosers. They can. Danny. Info on the box art, says Brett. Heard a rumor that the next one is going to be the yellow Jeep Bumblebee based on the info on the box art. Interesting. What G.I. Joe Jeep would it be, though? That's the question. Would it be just some sort of like, I don't know, like that one they did that came out, I forget the name of it, but it came out in like the 12-inch size, but they used it in the comic. Do you remember that? There was like one that was, it was like in the comic, but then it only came out as a 12-inch Jeep. Like back in the early 2000s, back in like the back end of the Marvel comic run. And then, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Someone knows what I'm talking about. Maybe that, I don't know, but that's a good shout. MCR, this is officially a Recondo day. What else we got going on here? Did some videos. Yeah, we're going to get Mindbender variants, guys. Definitely. Danny Vartime, Mindbender looks dope. I'm stoked on him. We'll get variants, no doubt. Shockwave as the Mamba. I could see that. Nice shout there, Sam. I like the sound of that. I want more comments from people. I mean, we've got loads. I'm way behind, and I apologize. Oh, James, yeah, Big Ben. Big Ben would be great, wouldn't they? Please. I'd love a Big Ben. Here we go. I'm trying to like get through all the comments quickly. So a lot of people are happy with all of the reveals today, which is great. Robert H. Kamakura is one of your favorites. Really want more post-real American hero characters like Bomb Strike. Thank you. Okay, Bomb Strike, Med Alert, Medi Viper. Yeah, Medic's a good shout, buddy. Medi Viper. Was it? I forget his name now. Scalpel. He's a Medi Viper, isn't he? Or he's like the leader of the Medi Vipers. I'd like to see them do Scalpel. That would be dope. But yes, Robert, good shouts, mate. All good shouts. I know that kind of leads back to that message we had earlier on here, the question earlier. What have we got? Are there any empty Dusty? Oh, okay. So Gat on Tracks was happy with Dusty and how they went for the original look. Yeah, he looks great, I think. Brilliant. I love all the little addition, the keeping Ron Rudat's name flipped on there as well, Tadeur. That's really cool. Sam, I am such a sucker for Joe. I love the updated early classified stuff and all the more retro-inspired stuff recently. The quality of the figures themselves is a huge factor here. Yeah, it's all great. Oh, yeah, thank you, MCR. Also agreeing with me on APC and Optimus. Thank you. Oh, good shout. Powerglide Red Rattler would be a good Autobot. Shogun, mate. Also, huge. Absolutely huge. He'd be massive. I would say that you could really make the most out of that mold, change the head sculpt, and make it like Thundercracker or like Cobra, was it Viper that they did for the actual when they did a blue Rattler. So they could do that again, couldn't they? But bigger. But yeah, I'd love to see Powerglide in there too. Again, all the mini cons seem to relate really well. You've got Sea Spray for the whale. Warpath for the Mauler, I would prefer personally. Powerglide for the Rattler, yeah. So they all seem to kind of like, Beachcomber for the Ore Striker as well because of the kind of Dune buggy aspect of it. Yeah, baby. So many good shouts here. So Giuliano, sorry, what is Retroline anyway? Supposed to be vintage like figures, but since classified main series is close to it. So effectively it's classified with vintage card backs, right? So what you've had in the past is Marvel Legends have done special re-releases, but on vintage retro card back styles where they've done like a whole range of Spider-Man on that vintage, Spider-Man card back from like the 90s and more. They've done all sorts, they're starting to do more Marvel re-releases as VHS cases as well, aren't they? But that, they've done plenty of card back versions. Black Series have done it with multiple. They did a whole 40th anniversary where it was like the Black Series size 6-inch figures on Kenner style card backs. And again, they've done multiple since then with like Boba Fett special figures and all sorts on special carded figures. Retro carded inspired. So that's what they're doing here with classified. It's effectively classified 6-inch figures, but then on like that kind of retro card back style. Yeah, to answer your question there. Yeah, sorry, someone's already said Ore Striker and Beachcomber. That was Brett. But sorry, Brett, I didn't see that. I'm scrolling through, but I did think of that before you said it. No, you said it before I thought about it, but I didn't see you saying it before I thought about it. Okay? Yeah, come on. No ideas original. Brett, yeah, you're right. Great combo, mate. Great combo. Mass Device Shockwave, Shane Montroy coming in hard with an absolute banger of an idea. A BET sound wave or something. Yeah, like when it's like not just a vehicle and we're looking like there's the bunker that someone mentioned. Apologies, I forgot who it was, but you know, it's documented on here. The Soundwave bunker's a great idea. Mass Device Shockwave's another brilliant idea, Shane. Well done, mate. Plastic Battles, they need to spread the OGs out a little bit so they don't blow their load all at the beginning of the line. Yep, you just made it a PG-13 Plastic Battles. Like I haven't done that already. Brian's also saying Killer Whale Sea Spray, let's go. Agreed. Airtight is my jam, says Charlie Whiskey Golf. Plastic Battle says Shipwreck. So we're talking about characters we want to see, aren't we, basically? Yeah, totally. The other thing is, I'll say something else here. I love the comments, guys. It's great. You all have conversations between yourselves as well. And I go to like open them and I'm like, that's between somebody else. So it is an absolute mission trying to keep up. I apologize. I'm watching the stream now for about the 5th time in a row, considering, well, twice in a row because it's 2 hours long. What we got going on? Sorry, I'm just trying to... Oh, Chuckles, says Adam Drake. Hey, Adam. Yeah, Chuckles would be a great shout. Danny of our time wants Tunnel Rat, Jinx, Hawk. Good shouts. Oh, Brett, even make it Eco Striker or Striker with the water gun for Beachcomber. Yeah, because they've got similar colors. Dude, you're onto something there. Even if that isn't what's done initially, that needs to be done at some point. 100%. You're a star, Brett, for that shout. We need a Snow Joe MCR. We do 100%, and there's so many. Blizzard, Iceberg, Snow Job, Snow Serpent for Cobra, Snow Serpent version 2, Wind Chill, Whiteout, Tundra Ranger Stalker. There are others. I mean, they did that whole like load of Arctic like Televipers and Crimson Guards and all sorts, didn't they? In those 7-packs back in the modern era kind of days. I say that like it's like older than the vintage. It's not. But yes, we do need Snow Joes. 100%. Shipwreck. Another shout for Shipwreck from Gat on Tracks. Oh, good shout here, Sam. Considering we've had a few Shipwreck shouts, this is a good question. Would people prefer a cable knit sweater Shipwreck or OG Sailor Suite? I think that means suit. But yeah, what would you prefer? I like the thought in Classified for them to do the kind of like, and I always do this, I don't know why, but like, because I suppose he's not doing that underwater, but he might be his harpoon gun. He's not underwater anyway, he's a sailor. Anyway, I'd like to see them do that kind of like seal kind of style with the kind of the woolen cap or the beanie, the t-shirt, and the kind of tactical gear and stuff, you know, like with like the weapons. That's what I'd like to see them do in Classified, because I think we're going to get some absolutely brilliant sailor shipwrecks with Super 7. And I think like that makes sense with Super 7. I think it's bonkers enough to work. I don't think we need a vintage. I don't think we need a bigger version of Shipwreck in the Classified line. Maybe we do, and maybe they might do that, but I'd love to see them do that personally. What do you guys want to see in that sense? Because that's a good question, Sam. Thank you. Yes, Michael. Because if we're going to get an Airtight, we're going to get a Tiger Force Airtight. I haven't heard of anything for Airtight though. I'd love to see Airtight in the line. 100%. Charlie needs a snow job. That sounded bad, didn't it? Charlie needs a snow job in his life. We all do, mate. Shogun Snow Serpent. Yeah, big time. Diana wants Dawn. I agree. I want Dawn too. I think Dawn Moreno would be a brilliant Classified figure. She'd be a brilliant... I could even see it being a brilliant, like, O-ring figure. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see them do some really cool stuff in O-ring, like new stuff we haven't seen before, which we have in the HasLab, definitely. But, you know, outside of that, I'd like to see some new, cool, interesting things in O-ring. Snowjob says Mike Powers. Blackout says Brian Greenwood. Down for Helix says Michael White. Laura the CG is a good shout as a more modern character in the comics, Diana. Yeah, definitely. Because you could get like a female CG body and then like an unmasked head. Brilliant. Was it 343? Laura 343? Correct me if I'm wrong. Mike Powers wants Cobra Eels, mate. Eels up inside, yeah. That's for Adam Drake. But yes, Mike, big shout, Cobra Eels. And someone did mention Eels before, but I rushed over it very quickly. Eels, says Mike Powers as well. Kate, hi, honey, my wife is watching. I should have shouted Kate out. I did not, and I'll shout her out now. Helix and Dawn, I agree. Yeah, so I'm late on that one. She's probably not even watching anymore, are you, honey? See you later, because you're at work and I'm getting to do this. Phoebes is down here. She misses you. Love to my wife. Everyone say hi to Kate. Classic Battles, Honda Lou West. Are we talking classified or are we talking Super 7? Because I think Super 7 would do a great job there. Torpedo, Mike, yes. Oh, all of the like water-based ones would be great. Wetsuit would be great. Sam, you're coming hard now, mate. Night Viper, Tunnel Rat, Dawn, and Alpine. Good lineup. I'd love to see all of those. What are we talking? Do most fans' favorite Cobras over Joe's? Ryan, I think it feels more Cobra related, but only because of the army builder aspect. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think if you were to break it down, they wouldn't be that far off in terms of what's been revealed, what's been released. But when you got like army builders, obviously you're getting more of them. So it feels like Cobra have got more going on. I think if you were just to kind of go character to character, it's not far off, I don't think. But probably more in favor of Cobra a little bit at the moment. But it'll change. It'll go up and down in cycles. Waves, heavier. I mean, the target wave has got 2 Tiger Force as opposed to 1 Python in it. So, you know, we're getting some semblance of balance, I guess. Battle Core, Shane. Battle Core 2000. Yes. Or do you mean as in Battle Core later on in the... you let me know. Night Vipers for sure. They'd be so good. The accessories would be great. The headgear, the night vision binocular would be great. What else we got? Blackout, Bomb Strike, Barrel Roll. The stalls, right? Yes, Brian, 100%. Jing-Su from Scott. Good shout. Jin-Su. Was that who I'm thinking of, like this one character that was in that. I don't think that's what you're saying. I think that's the character you want in there, and that's fair enough. Jinsu's a great Ninja Force character, and I'd love to see him in. I'd love to see him in Classified 100%. I'd love to see all the Ninja Force in there eventually. Zartan with his mohawk, Scarlet, all those definitely. In terms of that, no one's really. I don't think anyone's like Tiger Claw. Someone did. Man, I am way behind. Thank you, Tim. Tiger Claw and Shadow Strike. Yeah, I'd love to see Tiger Claw. I love that figure. Thank you, Tim, for answering that question about 3 hours ago that I'm an idiot and didn't get to. Do you think they would ever do Jammer, Quarrel, and Gaucho now that they have the parts and tooling? Well, do I think they will? Not necessarily. Do I want them to? 100%. I think Quarrel could be a standalone, and they could pre-paint her as a character and then do Scarlet based on her body as a classic on a retro card. I'm just thinking about how Hasbro could, do this, save money, reuse the mold, and all that kind of jazz. Because they could do I'd be more likely they'd release her as Glenda though, which is I don't know. I feel like South America gets more of a shout than the UK does, but I'm not going to moan because we have had some amazing UK or European exclusive Tiger Force inclusions with Outback. So I'm not going to moan too much on that. I'm not going to moan at all, am I? Really? Not a moaner. Thank you, Stephen. Great comment, mate, as well. I'd love to see them do it. I'd love to see, and I'm going to be doing that anyway with the figures when I get them. especially with the Stalker. I haven't done a Gaucho, but only because I'll do the Gaucho, I think, when I get that Gung Ho on card, the retro one. So much detail. Sorry, Sam. So much detail indeed. Craig's a good shout for poster Real American Hero from Sam. Good shout, buddy. Good shout. Thanks for all the comments, guys. This is great. And sorry it's going on for so long, but it's because of you that it's going on so long, and because of me being so slow and doing these stupid conversations that mean nothing for most of the time. Yes, Street Fighters. Street Fighter 2, please. Yes, please. What do you want them to transform into? I'm joking. But yeah, definitely want to see Street Fighter 2 incorporated into the G.I. Joe line again. I don't care what the blooming headache of licensing is. That needs to happen for me, especially at classified scale. Classified scale Street Fighter 2 figures. And I know Storm Collectibles do amazing stuff. And I know we've had Ryu in the Gamerverse kind of 4-inch style, but I want to see more Street Fighter 2 stuff within the G.I. Joe universe. I just do. And there's nothing you can do to change my mind about that. RKW1138 says the bad guys always look cooler. That's why, Ryan. That's why he's saying it, because that's why it's edging towards Cobra a little bit. Brett, that's a good shout, mate. That's a good shout. Do I think they will release the standard Grunt army builder for the Joes? Well, Grunt will eventually come, I believe. And I think they'll do him as Grunt as a character. And he will be also, I would say, like without really knowing it, it will be an army builder by default. Do you know what I mean? Maybe throw in like an alternate head in there. Maybe they'll do like a set like they've done with the Viper 3-pack. Maybe Grunt will come out as a character, and then later we'll get a G.I. Joe Green Shirts 3-pack that will be... God, I'm literally just coming up with all the ideas today based on all the things that you guys are saying, though, obviously. Sorry, yeah, you've spelled it correctly now, Scott. Jinsu. But yeah, still, great shout. Great character, and I'd love to see him. Warpath Mobat for the win, says Brian. So I'm flashing these up. Sorry, I know I'm going through them quick, but I've got to catch up. Oh, Joe, that was a big catch. Yeah, because Emily said Jojo June's going to be massive, even bigger than today. Of course it will be. And yeah, we're all going to be in big trouble, aren't we? Absolutely. Rachel, poster Real American Hero, Bomb Strike, Barrel Roll, Blackout, the stalls. Been a few shouts for those, and I think, yeah, totally. Bomb Strike. Again, shout out to my wife, Kate, who did an amazing cosplay of Bomb Strike. Yeah, I'd love to see Bomb Strike in Classified, and Barrel Roll and Blackout would be great, just in the same wave as well. All three in the same wave would be brilliant, wouldn't they? The stalls. And get Dwight Stall on, who they named him after in their code name, their file names, because he still works on the Marvel brand. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. What else we got going on here? Oh, that's okay. This is a good one. Yeah, because we've been talking about what the Transformers transform into. We haven't necessarily been talking about what figures they'd come with, have we? So, okay, this is a good one. So Doc and First Aid. So First Aid as like some sort of GI ambulance. We haven't really had a GI ambulance, but I suppose we've had, again, the APC works here. So First Aid is the APC with a Doc figure. There you go. But like that would be cool, wouldn't it? There's a lot of cool stuff going on in that conversation. So yeah, 100%. Nunchuck's a good shout as well, Scott. Are you just naming cool Ninja Force characters? Because yeah, I'll have Nunchuck as well, mate, and blooming Dojo and all of those. But it was if you're trying to answer my question about who was the guy in that set in the modern era, it was Tiger Claw. That was the one I was trying to get hold of in my head. Blackout and Ninja Vipers 3-pack. Oh, sorry. Blackout and Night Vipers 3-pack. Oh, totally cool idea there, Sam. Michael White says armadillo. Are you saying armadillo? In which case, yeah, that would be cool. And you could get like are we talking Transformers? Are we talking Classified? Because it's probably the size of a good Classified vehicle. Danny, do I think that Transformers crossover could lead into 6-inch mask figure and vehicles? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see. I don't know about 6-inch mask figures and vehicles because the Transformers crossover's O-ring, but I could see mask characters in classified. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know when, and I don't know who and how, but it would be cool to get to that point at some stage. Oh, Renegade Biker, you're on Hoarder as well. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. As Renegade Biker, I guess. Yeah, Renegade Biker 24. Cool. Thank you. Oh, another good one from Rachel. Hotwire. The Bats kind of scientist, wasn't he? Or just scientist in general, maybe. But yeah, like really, really cool. Blanca, they used Blanca's head, didn't they? The Street Fighter 2 Blanca head for his head. It looks hilarious. But I'd love to see Hotwire, yeah, in like again in classified. Yeah, smaller woodwork. Good idea, Chris. All of my ideas are good. It's Yorktown Joe. I'm just kidding. Oh, that's a good shout, Sam. Night Adder from Rock. Yeah, we're just going to name everything, aren't we? Yeah, and yeah, you could fold him into Dreadnought's lore. Definitely, definitely. And the articulated Rottweiler to go with him. Yeah, surveillance port Soundwave from Brian there. Bunker or surveillance port. I'll take either. Oh, okay. APC is Ironhide and Ratchet. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely can see that. That way you can have the standard APC and a medical version for Ratchet. Yes. Again, I did mention first aid as well as an APC. So, Brett, yeah, good points there. Absolutely. Shrapnel as a trouble bubble. Oh, Gat, good idea. Yeah, because Insecticon trouble bubbles, you can have all of them. They all transform into trouble bubbles or different small vehicles. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, surveillance port saying surveillance post Soundwave for most people. Yeah. Yeah, Matt. O-ring figures cost almost as much as a new classified price point. Yeah, I mean, yeah, cost is a thing, isn't it? And it sucks. I'm definitely picking and choosing. I'm just excited to see this stuff a lot of the time. I'm definitely picking and choosing with my orders, though. Definitely. I'm surprised it took this long to happen, but Brian, Ultimate Jojo Transformer Vehicle, USS Flaggers broadside, mate, 100%. I'm going to have to zip through these. Sorry, guys. Sergeant Slaughter's Triple T as Cliff Jumper. Amazing. Voiced by The Rock. My God, there's a lot going on in that comment. Transformer Collabs is 2023. Yeah, I think it's worst case scenario, though. Trust me on that. And it's still the first of the first. Still January. It's almost 2022 still. But yeah, like I said before, I think they're worst case scenarioing the dates. And let's face it, worst case scenario has been the way forward anyway, so it probably will be 2023. But the aim is late 2022 for the Transformers crossover. Trust me. Combiners would be cool. Sorry, I'm not getting to everyone's comment. I'm going to have to zip through this stuff now, guys, to get to the end. Okay, White has said, White Vegeta. One of my favorite things you may have already mentioned or touched on, Bazooka having new chest cut articulation. Yeah, that is pretty cool, isn't it? He's got like a new bit body. I think it's like in between kind of huge and small. So yeah, he's generally got some new things going on. There's the new long sleeve or like short sleeve, but a bit longer on the arm. And yeah, the chest cut articulation is different too to accommodate that the 14. So yeah, really cool stuff. Someone said here Super Saiyan Bebo, so I guess the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow animated series is cancelled. Well, there's a few things, isn't there? Like, obviously the movie, they're not really doing anything with the film stuff anymore. They're not doing anything with Operation Blackout at the moment. I feel like the animated series is linked in some way to the film, and so therefore they're not really doing that anymore. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see on a lot of this. I think a lot of it was early development anyway, but we'll have to see. What have we got? A lot of sellouts happening. Yeah. I'm going to zip a bit further on. Sorry, guys. Right, I'm gonna push it to the end. I'm sorry. I know you've all been like commenting loads, but I'm just not gonna be able to catch up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna zip close to the end and try and catch some more of these, and then we'll bring it to a close. We need Alpine Shogun. Yes, we do. We've talked about that. Big Bow is a good shout from Matthew Samples. With Ali Viper and Crimson Guard done, I agree completely about Night Viper, says Sam. Yes, agreed. Night Viper, Snow Serpents, Techno Viper, Eels, so many to do. Classified Low Light, says Mo Skills 76. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what it's now, it's just us all saying characters, isn't it? Budo in Classified would be brilliant, Danny, 100%. Now, I will just get to the end and I will say, I am so sorry I couldn't get to everyone's comments and stuff. It is just so much. And I really appreciate it. I've been on for 2.25 hours and you're probably already bored stiff anyway. But thanks for jumping on, guys. Thanks for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this one. I'm so glad I don't have to edit this now. You can just watch it after the fact. I will see you very soon on the weekly. Pat and I will be back with you on Saturday morning. And even though we record on Friday. And obviously I'll have loads more, I imagine loads more news bursts to do between now and tomorrow. But it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute blast. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. I love you guys so much. It's so good to get, such great blooming interactivity with everybody. It's brilliant. Phoebes knows I'm finishing now. She's just done a shake, ready to, I don't know, bother me about something. Phoebes, do you want to say hi to everyone or not? No, she's busy. Anyway, a pleasure as always, guys. I will see you on the next one. You know what to do at the end? What do we do at the end? After 3? Oh, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to do a little outro and get everything planned and lined up because I always do this. And I spent ages after we said full force trying to find the outro. Anyway, it has been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, that brings us to the end of this special installment of the Full Force News Burst Live. Thank you to my awesome co-host from earlier, Patrick Notpicard Stewart. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. And as always, after 3, 1, 2, 3, full force. Perfect. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. And as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.